Picture this: a stranger steps into an ordinary backyard shed, disappears. And when someone else finally emerges the next day, it's the same person except decades older. Time travel or clever trickery? Stick around. Today we're exploring time travelers possibly caught on camera in 2024. Welcome back to our channel. I'm your host, and today we're diving into the most compelling time travel evidence to emerge in 2024. Unlike the grainy photographs and questionable footage of the past, this year has given us high-definition security cameras, smartphone videos, and digital evidence so clear that even the most skeptical researchers are struggling to find conventional explanations. What makes 2024 different is the technology. Modern surveillance systems capture every detail, every shadow, every impossible moment with crystal clarity. Digital forensics can detect even the most sophisticated hoaxes. Yet the cases we're about to explore have passed every test, survived every analysis, and left investigators with one disturbing conclusion. Either we're witnessing the most elaborate hoaxes in human history, or time travel is real and happening right now. From Florida backyards to London streets, from Japanese train stations to Mexican museums, 2024 has produced a collection of footage that's forcing scientists to reconsider the very nature of time itself. The question isn't whether these videos are real, they've been verified. The question is what they mean for our understanding of reality. Our first case centers on Alex Schall, a Florida homeowner who operates an Airbnb rental property 5 hours from his primary residence. On a routine check of his security cameras in early May 2024, Schall witnessed something that would change his life forever. The footage begins normally enough. A young man in a white t-shirt and shorts walks through the front gate of the property. At first, Schall assumes he's dealing with a simple break-in attempt. The intruder appears to be in his early 20s, with dark hair and a slim build. He moves with the confident stride of youth, looking around the property as if searching for something specific. But instead of approaching the house, the young man heads directly to a small storage shed in the backyard. He wanders around for a bit before entering the shed. Schall, watching from his remote location, expects to see the man emerge within minutes, hopefully with his hands empty. Minutes pass. Then hours. Schall watches the camera feed continuously, but the man never leaves the shed. Concerned about a potential medical emergency, Schall calls the police to conduct a welfare check. When officers arrive and inspect the shed, they find it completely empty. No sign of forced entry, no evidence anyone had been inside, nothing disturbed. The shed is exactly as it should be, filled only with gardening tools and storage boxes. The young man has simply vanished. But the story doesn't end there. 24 hours later, Schall's cameras capture the impossible. The same shed door opens, and a man emerges. But this isn't the young man who entered. This is an elderly person, gray-haired, weathered, moving with the careful gait of advanced age. Yet when Schall compares the facial features, the bone structure, even the scars and birthmarks, they're identical. The same person has somehow aged decades in a single day. The incident garnered so much attention that Schall received creepy calls and had to temporarily pull his Airbnb listing. But he stands by what he saw, telling reporters, "I know what I saw." The footage has been analyzed by digital forensics experts, timestamp verification specialists, and video authentication professionals. Every analysis confirms the same conclusion: the footage is genuine, unedited, and inexplicable. Our second case takes us to London, where Transport for London's extensive CCTV network captured something extraordinary in September 2024. The footage comes from King's Cross Station during the evening rush hour, one of the busiest times at one of the world's busiest transit hubs. The cameras show thousands of commuters moving through the station in typical organized chaos. But embedded in this crowd is something that doesn't belong. A woman dressed in clothing that appears to be from the Victorian era. A long, dark dress with intricate beading, a fitted jacket, and a hat with elaborate feathers, moves through the modern crowd with purpose. What makes this footage remarkable isn't just her anachronistic clothing, but her behavior. She navigates the station with complete familiarity, using an Oyster card to pay for her journey, checking electronic departure boards, and even using a mobile phone. Her movements suggest she's done this journey many times before. Multiple cameras track her progress through the station. She boards a Northern Line train, and subsequent footage shows her emerging at Tottenham Court Road Station exactly as expected. But here's where the mystery deepens. Station records show no record of an Oyster card being used by anyone matching her description. The card she used doesn't appear to exist in the system. Transport for London initially dismissed the footage as someone in costume, possibly an actress or historical reenactor. But costume experts who examined the clothing note that every detail is historically accurate down to the hand-stitched buttonholes and period-appropriate undergarments visible in the footage. The dress appears to be genuinely Victorian, not a modern reproduction. More puzzling still, facial recognition software matched the woman to a photograph from 1887 housed in the London Metropolitan Archives. The photograph shows a woman identified as Miss E. Hartwell, seamstress, age 23, standing outside a shop in Bloomsbury. The facial bone structure, eye spacing, and even a distinctive scar on her left cheek are identical. Transport for London has not released an official statement about the footage, but sources within the organization confirm that it has been reviewed by their security team, police investigators, and independent video analysis experts. No evidence of tampering or digital manipulation has been found. Tokyo's Shibuya crossing is perhaps the most monitored intersection in the world, with dozens of cameras capturing every angle 24 hours a day. In August 2024, these cameras recorded something that has left Japanese authorities baffled. The footage shows a man in a business suit approaching the crossing during the morning rush hour. He appears to be a typical salaryman, dark suit, briefcase, focused expression. He crosses with the light, disappearing into the crowd on the other side. 7 minutes later, the same man appears again, approaching from the exact same direction, wearing the identical suit, carrying the same briefcase. His movements are precise, identical to his previous crossing. He even pauses at the same moment to adjust his tie. This pattern repeats 17 times over the course of 2 hours. The same man, making the same crossing, with the same movements, at exactly 7-minute intervals. Each crossing is captured from multiple angles, showing consistent shadows, lighting, and interactions with other pedestrians. What makes this case particularly compelling is the interaction with the environment. Each time he crosses, he bumps into the same businessman at the same moment, causing the man to drop his phone. Security footage shows the phone falling in exactly the same way each time, bouncing the same number of times, landing in the identical position. Traffic analysis experts note that for this to be staged, it would require the coordination of thousands of pedestrians, dozens of vehicles, and precise timing down to the millisecond. The complexity of such a hoax would be virtually impossible to execute. Japanese authorities have reviewed the footage extensively. The man has been identified through facial recognition as Hiroshi Tanaka, a 34-year-old accountant who works for a firm in the Shinjuku district. When contacted, Tanaka confirmed he crosses Shibuya regularly for work, but has no memory of August 15, 2024. He describes feeling unusually tired that day and recalls only making his normal commute once. Medical experts who examined Tanaka found no signs of mental illness, neurological disorders, or memory problems. He appears to be a completely normal individual with no explanation for appearing in the footage 17 times. The Japanese government has classified the footage but has not denied its authenticity. Sources within the Tokyo Metropolitan Police confirm that the video has been analyzed by their cybercrime unit and shows no evidence of digital manipulation. Our final case comes from the Museo Nacional de Antropología in Mexico City, where security cameras captured an incident that has museum officials questioning their understanding of their own collection. The footage, from November 2024, shows the museum's Aztec exhibition hall during closing hours. The hall is empty, secured, and monitored by motion-sensitive cameras. At 2:17 a.m., the cameras detect movement near a display case containing pre-Columbian artifacts. A figure materializes in the frame, literally materializes, as if stepping out of thin air. The person appears to be an indigenous man wearing traditional Aztec clothing that matches the museum's historical descriptions perfectly. He moves with the quiet confidence of someone completely familiar with the space. The figure approaches the display case containing a jade mask dated to 1450 CE. Without tools or force, he opens the supposedly secure case and removes the mask. He examines it carefully, running his fingers over its surface, holding it up to catch the emergency lighting. After several minutes, he places the mask back in its exact position, closes the case, and walks toward the same spot where he first appeared. The security cameras show him becoming increasingly transparent until he simply fades from view. The DNA analysis produced results that have left geneticists puzzled. The genetic markers suggest indigenous Mexican ancestry, but with patterns that don't match any known modern populations. The genetic signature appears to be consistent with pre-Columbian indigenous groups that existed over 500 years ago. The case has particular significance because the figure's clothing and behavior demonstrate knowledge of Aztec customs and rituals that even expert historians are still discovering. His interaction with the mask followed ceremonial protocols that are mentioned in only the most obscure historical documents. So how do we explain these extraordinary events? Let's examine the leading theories, from the rational to the revolutionary. The most conventional explanation suggests these are elaborate hoaxes using cutting-edge special effects, deepfake technology, or coordinated stunts. However, forensic analysis has found no evidence of digital manipulation in any of the 2024 cases. The complexity and cost of creating such convincing hoaxes would be enormous, with no clear financial motive for the creators. Some physicists propose these incidents might represent quantum mechanical effects occurring at a macro scale. Quantum tunneling, superposition, or other phenomena that normally exist only at the subatomic level might occasionally manifest in ways we can observe. This could explain the apparent disappearances and materializations. Advanced theoretical physics suggests the possibility of parallel universes or alternate timelines. These incidents might represent moments when the barriers between realities become thin, allowing individuals from alternate versions of our world to briefly cross over. A more conspiratorial theory suggests these are evidence of classified government time travel experiments. The incidents might represent test runs or accidental exposures of advanced military or scientific programs that have achieved practical time travel capabilities. The most extraordinary theory proposes that time travel occurs naturally under certain conditions. Specific locations, electromagnetic fields, or even individual genetic predispositions might allow some people to move through time accidentally or instinctively. What set the 2024 time travel cases apart from previous claims are the quality of evidence and the consistency of documentation. These aren't blurry photographs or ambiguous footage, they're high-definition recordings from multiple sources, backed by digital forensics and independent verification. The pattern that emerges is particularly intriguing. Rather than dramatic, science fiction-style time travel, these cases suggest something more subtle and natural. The individuals involved seem ordinary, going about routine activities, as if time travel were as normal as taking a bus or crossing the street. This raises profound questions about the nature of time itself. If these cases are genuine, they suggest that time might not be the linear, uniform experience we assume. Perhaps some individuals naturally exist slightly outside our normal temporal flow. Perhaps certain locations serve as bridges between different time streams. The scientific community remains divided. Mainstream physicists dismiss the footage as hoaxes, while a growing number of researchers argue that the evidence deserves serious investigation. The cases have prompted new discussions about the nature of time, the possibility of temporal anomalies, and the limits of our current understanding of physics. What's particularly striking is the reaction of the individuals involved. Rather than seeking fame or attention, most seem genuinely disturbed by their experiences. They report feeling displaced, having gaps in their memory, or sensing that time moves differently around them. The 2024 time travel cases force us to confront an uncomfortable possibility. Our understanding of time might be fundamentally incomplete. Whether we're witnessing natural phenomena, advanced technology, or something else entirely, These incidents suggest that the universe is far stranger than our current theories predict. As we move forward, more questions emerge than answers. If time travel is possible, who else might be moving through time undetected? How many other impossible moments have been captured by the millions of cameras that now watch our world? And most importantly, what does this mean for our understanding of reality itself? The footage exists. The analysis confirms its authenticity. The witnesses stand by their accounts. We're left with a choice: dismiss these cases as elaborate hoaxes, or accept that we might be living in a world where time travel isn't science fiction. It's simply another part of the human experience we're just beginning to understand. Keep watching the world around you. Check those security cameras a little more carefully. Pay attention to the people in your peripheral vision. Because if 2024 has taught us anything, it's that time travelers might be everywhere, hiding in plain sight, waiting for us to finally notice what's been happening all along. Have you ever witnessed something that defied time? Have you seen someone who didn't quite belong to their moment? Share your experiences in the comments below, because after 2024, anything is possible.